All right, guys, we are live. So for everybody that's texting me, what's going on with the show tonight? What's going on with the show tonight? We had a little back end stuff that I wanted to take care of with Michelle, and something that I learned yesterday, Michelle, too. And I don't even know if you know this, but I was in the Memphis yard. I did a video about it earlier today to tell guys about it. But do you know that we have 14-foot trailers? Not 13.6, 14-foot trailers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've been here. You know, the long time I've been here, I didn't even know that.
They're also illegal on this side of the country.
Yeah. Well, this trailer was in Memphis, and I tried to, and I had no idea. There's no posting on the side of the trailer anywhere that it's a 14-foot trailer. Only thing is the year digit, 14. You think it's a 2014 trailer. So I tried to get out of the security gate in Memphis. And the lady says, you can't take that trailer out. I'm like, why? She's like, it's a 14-foot trailer. Me being a dumbass, it's a 53-foot trailer. I just looked at it. She's like, no, the height. So obviously I had to go and take it and turn around. I said, I've been here almost four and a half years off and on. I never knew we even had those trailers. And why is this trailer sitting in Memphis when they have 13.7 bridges all throughout the town?
Well, because when I ran BMW years ago, somebody would come across it. I think it's all west of the Mississippi. They're called high cubes. And some driver would drag it where they weren't supposed to, and then we'd find it in the east. And then we have to find somebody to take it back.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you can't haul them over here.
Crazy. So let me go through. Guys, put up your questions for Michelle. I know I'm looking at you guys. A lot of you are going to be the usual suspects, but any new guys, and every show that I put out, I'm always getting at least 2 or 3 new people. So put up some questions if you have them.
Where's Sean Fairman?
Jonah's in here. He's going to talk about his Clemson shit to you. So you're checking in from Lynchburg, Virginia, Sean Fairman. Good to have you, buddy. There's your boy, Jonah. Good evening. Hey, Jonah. My better half. Hello, baby boy, Michelle and Rabbit followers. Speaking of which, Nicole, that video is still uploading. I gave you and Haley a lot of good kudos in that video. So you need to watch it as soon as you can because you are my pride and joy. Roger Barrett's in the house. Hello from the Mistake by the Lake. All right, you're going to have to clue me in. I'm assuming.
Is that Shannon?
No, that's Roger Barry.
Okay.
It's got to be Chicago. Mistake by the Lake. That's got to be what it is. Dana Brewster. Hey, James. Hey, Dana. If I'm saying, I don't know if that's Dana or Danum. Danum. Oh, you know what? That's Dan. That's the guy I talked to last night. Dan, I got a lot of answers for you today, and we'll go over them later.
Yeah.
Huh?
Dan Armbruster.
Yeah, Dan Armbruster.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. I got all your answers, at least most of them, anyways, and I'll have a recruiter for you. But this is my owner-operator recruiter. You will eventually deal with her when that time comes. Michael Shepard. Hey, buddy. You know Michael Shepard. I think, don't
Lord.
you?
Yes.
I did. Okay. I thought Michael Shepard went through you. He got the real nice 22 Kentworth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's Roger Barry. Letter Ripple.
Hey, just warning you, our computers are getting updates, and mine said that I put it on snooze, but it only let me snooze it so many times. So if I disappear, Swift has decided to update my computer without my permission.
So I got to tell you a funny story. I listened to Charlie and Jeff last night, and I actually listened to them this morning. I always get them on the replay, but you know how Swift is changing to over the AI crap?
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard the AI person that Rapid Response uses? Her name is...
Yeah, everybody thinks it's me.
Well, they said last night that it sounds like Sandy at SeBrite Insurance, and it actually does. Yeah. It sounds just like her.
One of my owners said, Michelle, did you do that? And I'm like, no. He said, I would have swore it was you.
So I called Rapid yesterday, and I had them laughing really hard. I like talking to those ladies every once in a while, but I called them to get some clarifications on some of this pianos and stuff. But when you deal with that AI stuff, she gives you back whatever you give her. So I wasn't arguing with her, but I was being very stern, and she was being very stern back with me. I was playing with the AI just to see, and I told him, I said, man, your AI lady, man, she gave me some shit back, and they were just laughing their asses off.
Yeah.
But
we've all tried to antagonize her a little bit just to see what she does.
That's exactly what I was doing. I was trying to get her flustered. Michael Shepard says technical difficulties. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know if it's on my end. It probably is because Michelle's got a good connection. You're at work, right?
No, I'm in my office at home.
Oh, you're in your office at home. Okay. Well, one of us has a bad connection. No, but we'll get through it. And there's Justin Burgers as always. Hey, buddy. We'll get together on the football stuff here real soon. I know we got a bunch of games this weekend. Dan says, yep, the California trailers. He's laughing. And you're new. There's Joe. Hey, buddy. Good evening. I need good news. So that's Joe Ware. He needs good news, he says.
I'm working on him very hard. So
there you go, Joe. You'll be back soon enough. If she has anything to do with it, you'll be back. Craig, how can I lease a truck?
Nobody's gonna lease him a truck. He's trouble.
He's definitely trouble, man. I got to tell you, me and him became friends on Facebook. What a dedicated guy he is to. I don't know if he became a preacher or what he did, but he's got
graduated. Yeah, he just graduated.
He's an ordained minister now, huh?
I think that's awesome.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I texted him and told him.
Who has time to work a full-time job, raise kids, and go to school?
It's fabulous, man. Hey, kudos to you, Craig, man. I couldn't do that. Kudos. 3 Riggs says, evening, Rabbit Michelle. Hey, 3 Riggs, glad to have you in. And Roger Barrett. Oh, he's talking about Cleveland, Ohio, not Chicago. The mistake by the Bay. Here's your boy, Jonah. Michelle, now I'm the life of the party. Oh, man. That's funny.
He was waiting on me Monday when I walked in the office, and I was like, oh, no.
I bet he was. And there's Dan. Sweet and okay, thank you. Yeah, I got you covered, buddy. We'll talk later tonight. Michael Shepard says, yeah, it has a South accent. Oh, you're talking about the AI. Yeah, she does have a little bit of that twang. Funny because she's in Phoenix, but she has a little bit of that twang. You know, I had one of the guys was joking around the other day, says, I wonder what she looks like. I said, what she looks like? She's AI, buddy. What the hell? It's not a real person.
He looks like a box.
Oh, that's so funny. And Mike says, hi, y'all. Hey, Mike, how's it going? I'm not sure which Mike that is. I've got like 4 or 5 mics, so clue me in who you are. Dan says, no issues that I can see. Video is good. Okay, good deal. And Craig says, thank you. Buddy, that's a proud achievement, my man. And honestly, I don't know you all that well. We've talked several times on the phone and stuff, and I would have never guessed that from you. But I know you're kind of silent when I start on a cuss and rant, and I get it now. It makes sense.
Yeah. You know, and he's a beaner. So, you know, he hauls bush beans.
Yeah.
And there's no sleep with bush beans. He's hauling butt.
So Vernon Galloway says, how much is the down payment on a new truck lease and weekly payment?
So all trucks have a $2,500 down payment unless you're leasing the truck you're currently driving as a company driver. So as long as the truck has at least 100,000 miles on it, we normally will finance that for you about $100 a week. But any of that new stuff, you know, if it's brand new, we usually ask for the $2,500 up front. If it's got a couple miles on it, then we're willing to negotiate a little bit, maybe just get part of it up front. But we're just trying to prioritize who gets the new stuff because, you know, there's not a lot of brand new trucks.
So Mike is Mike from Nebraska. Oh, Michael Sage. Okay. I'm sorry, buddy. I see it in your name now.
Mike.
Michael Sage, him. He's a man. I got to meet Mike for this Mike here for the first time in Detroit.
Did you?
We actually went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and we actually watched the college football before the playoffs or whatever. We watched the weekend before. I don't remember who Miami played, but we watched the Miami game. We had a good time together. He's a good dude, really good guy.
Right.
Craig says it wasn't easy.
I don't doubt that. He's got a new baby too.
Or the one you thought had grease on the other day. So I felt embarrassed when I asked that, but he's got a big birthmark on his arm. I thought it was a grease. It looked like grease. I said, "What'd you get grease all over?" He's no, that's a birthmark. Oh man,
You thought he was digging under his hood.
Mm-hmm. I really did. Are you I'm gonna laugh a little bit. Are you a Cheech and Chong fan from Cheech and Chong back in the day?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, a little bit.
All right, so
my husband is.
Okay, well, there was a scene back in the day, and me and the wife laughs about it. And if I can find the scene, I'll send it to you tomorrow. But there's a scene in there where talking about the birthmark. The guy's name was Strawberry, and the actor's name is Mike Stewart. He's played in all kinds of stuff. He was actually in Top Gun, but anyway, it was a young Michael Stewart. He has this big strawberry birthmark on his face, and Cheech tells Chong, says, "Whenever we get in here to buy this dope, whatever you do, don't say anything about Strawberry's birthmark." As soon as he gets in there, he's just staring at his birthmark. He's like, "I told you not to." He says, "I'm sorry, man, but you got a big birthmark on the side of your face." Anyway, that's kind of how I felt yesterday. I wasn't staring at his birthmark. Craig says, "Trust me, you're not as bad as Charlie. You good? It doesn't bother me." I'm not as bad as Charlie. I wonder what that means.
She's talking about your language, sir.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I know Charlie has a potty mouth, and I know it really, really, really bothers Jeff. And you can hear it when they do their lives together. Jeff doesn't like it at all, and Charlie's a lot like me. He doesn't have a filter on him. And
right. Well, in different places that you're raised, I mean, like people from, and of course, I'm not stereotyping anybody. But a lot of folks, like in the Northeast, that's just part of their verbiage. I mean, it's, hi, how the F are you, It's just how they talk. Don't think anything of it,
Oh, yeah. Trucking Baby G says she just got approved for owner-operator. I'm excited. So who was your recruiter? If you got any issues or problems, you can give me a call. I'm kind of the do-it-all now. Everybody's calling me. I don't know if I've told you that or not. Ever since you made that comment to me, James, you got to help everybody out. Remember that comment you made to me?
Yes, I did.
Well, every day before I go to bed, my voice is gone because I talk to so many people throughout the day. I've helped so many guys.
Got it. You got to do it for everybody and do it for the right reasons.
Well, and I'm doing it. So, Baby G, give me a call. My number's always listed in all the descriptions, just like Michelle's. Scar says, "Why don't you all work with drivers from Pennsylvania?"
It's labor laws. It doesn't have anything to do with Swift. We love. Oh, I know her. Hey. Anyway, Pennsylvania labor laws. The easiest way to explain it is that they're likely to follow California in that AB5 stuff. And the easiest way to explain that is they don't make their tax money from independent contractors that work under a company the same way they do employees. So they make it difficult for us to do business. And so we just don't. So we don't have to worry about. In California, when AB5, first went into effect, we had to move all our drivers out of there. A lot of them went to other companies, some of them moved, but it cost us a lot of money. We lost a lot of owner operators that way. And so we just don't want to have to go through that again.
So, Scars, there's a way behind this and a way around it, but you need to call me and I'll discuss it with you. It's easier to do it that way. So, you know who Trucking Baby G is?
I sure do.
Will definitely give a call. Could use the help I can get. Yeah, don't hesitate to call me if you're available. I'm driving all night tonight. I'm kind of switched to this night shift crap for a while, picking up a student over the weekend. And quite frankly, I'm trying to hustle my ass up to Detroit as quick as I can and get my ass down to Orlando before this big ass storm comes through. That's my goal to be in Orlando.
I got to make sure I bring everything home with me this weekend because I have a feeling I'll be working from home on Monday.
So Trucker Baby G said, glad you found. Well, do me a favor. Go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell. Make sure you do that so you get contacted when the new videos come out. I've got a video that's actually uploading right now. I try to put out 2 to 3 videos a week if I can. Going live again tomorrow night at 7 with Steven for your health insurance needs. And then we're going to do our regular show Saturday night. So we stay busy. I'm trying to build the channel quick.
Yep.
You know, I had 1,000.
April just got.
Huh?
You did what? I was going to say April just moved the processing this week. So she's moving on.
Okay. Good deal. Yeah, call me. I had 1,000 subscribers in June of last year. And I'm at 2219, I think now. So it's growing really quickly. Dan says, I'm grateful for our conversation last night, James. I appreciate the time, the info you gave me. Thanks again. No, not again, man. We're not done. I promise you, we're not done. We're going to have a good friendship out of this. I can tell you that right now. You're going to do just fine. Scar says, thanks. I'm in another snowstorm. Yeah, they're not fun. You know, and this year, and I did it last year too, I don't know how I have the habit of doing it, but somehow or another, I seem to miss it. And I probably just jinxed myself for the weekend. But
you probably did.
I'm pretty damn lucky. I have driven in the snow, don't get me wrong, but the big bad stuff I've kind of gotten away from. Dan says, absolutely, yep. So I'll let you take the floor if you want to discuss any specials or anything going on. And speaking of which, when you talk to Ian, and I don't know who makes those decisions, but see if they can't come type of special for the truck show or something, you know, something to gather some activity.
Yeah, well, we've got lots of activity right now. Lots of activity. I think that we will start putting, the load board will probably ramp up sooner than expected again. I don't have a date for sure, but I think that's going to happen. Right now, the only special though that we really have is if you're already a company driver, you know, you'll still have that no down payment, plus you get 30 days no payment. Anybody else coming in off the street is going to get 19 days no payment. So we did change that up a little bit, and that's a good information for you as well. You know how we always try to coach people around the Thursday thing, you know, because, you know, it just works out better. So now they've added a couple days to that. So whether you sign on Monday or Friday, payment comes out at the same time. So they just kind of added a couple days to that to make it work.
Okay. So you noticed I don't do the Thursday thing anymore. How many people have you done on Thursdays here lately? I don't even bring it up anymore. I tell the guys, you know, look, you're in a bad situation where you're at. Let's go ahead and get you started over here, whether you start on a Monday or a Friday. Let's get you started. Let's get you rolling. I help you make as much money as you possibly can your first week. Just listen to what I tell you, how to do it. And when you talk to your driver leader, you know, hey, I need a load that needs to deliver, you know, today, tonight, something. And we'll get around it, guys. We'll get around it. And I know most of you guys don't understand what we're talking about. I don't really want to get into it because you can start any day and make money immediately.
Yeah, there's always a better day to sign normally, but not anymore. So,
well, the 19 days thing really works out better than before. It was 16, right?
Correct.
I think the 19 day that makes a lot more sense. Justin says he is live on Friday night with you, James. Okay, do me a favor. You need to remind me Friday afternoon and give me a time, and I'll be more than happy to go live with you to do the sports. Justin's a big Denver Broncos fan. He lives in Denver. And me and him and the insurance guy, Steven, and do you know Chris Pupillo? I don't know if you know him or not. We're going to do a sport. Pupillo. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. I can't remember if you know who he is.
Chris from Missouri. Yes.
Yep. The four of us are going to do a sports show, like a kind of like a fantasy football type show when NFL starts back up in August. We're going to do something. We don't know yet for sure how that platform's going to work, but we're going to do it.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Any questions, guys? Complaints, questions?
Don't
Like I said,
complain.
yeah, I take all of them. I take the brunt of everything. So I made a video today, like I said, about the 14-foot trailers. But before I did that, I did a little house cleaning because I'm getting a lot of trolls that are coming on. And I say trolls, they're not really trolls. They're more, got a couple guys that are at Swift right now, and they're struggling. And
Right.
I put in the video specifically, guys, if you're struggling, call somebody. You don't have to call me, but call somebody, get help, figure out what you're doing wrong. My number is plastered all over everything. I'm easy accessible. Anybody can contact me. Dan got a hold of me last night at 1:30 in the morning. My phone is always on. I was in sales for years. I know how it is. You want activity, you want answers, and you want them right now. It's just like when the fire's burning, you want to put that fire out as quick as you can. There's no reason why anybody can't contact me anytime and get any answers. I work with everybody now. Just because you're already here, I don't care. I'll help anybody with answers or questions or anything you need. If you don't call me, then I can't help you. And if you're having issues sometimes, and it's the same thing, and I even use myself as an example, Michelle, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, all the times that I left Swift, sometimes you got to take a look in the mirror. Maybe the issue, the problem is yourself. Maybe you're doing something wrong. And that's kind of what I had to do. I had to look at myself and figure out what I was doing wrong.
Well, and of course I tell them that, when you recruit somebody, you tell them, well, hey, you don't want to go to New York, you're an owner operator, you don't have to. However, especially this time of year, after the holidays, January, people don't ship as much. And then, of course, then you have to fight weather and everything else that delays everything. You got to go where the freight is, and if you're not willing to go where the freight is, a lot of times you may struggle. But you just have to have an open mind, you're not touring the country, to sightsee and vacation, you're trying to make money. So you got to know where that dollar is located.
It's funny that you bring that up.
Out there.
You remember Michael Socket, the guy you sent to me that was struggling really bad? That was like $4,000 in the hole. You remember him?
Yeah.
Okay. So this guy, Michelle, wanted me to help him, and I talked to him, figured out exactly what he was doing wrong immediately. He was rejecting just about everything that they sent him because it went to Pennsylvania or it went to New York State or, it went to California or wherever he didn't want to go. That's what they were sending to him. And I told him, I said, well, there's your first problem. You need to not reject everything they send you. You need to pick one of them, one out of the four or whatever they send you, and take one of them and run. Second thing is he was fueling at the wrong places. And there was a lot of other issues. He had a lot of home time with his girlfriend that he had to go by Indianapolis to visit with. And finally, I just got to the point. I said, dude, this is what you got to do. It's up to you whether you want to get out of the hole. So he actually listened to me, and within a week and a half, I had him from a negative $4,200 paycheck to where he was actually going to get like a $400 paycheck the next week. And if he would have continued running the way I told him, he would have been in the $2,000 plus mark the next week. But then he quit the next week. After he got a positive paycheck, he quit. So all that time and stuff.
And what does that do? What does that do when you quit? You have to start all over and you start off in the negative again. Mm-hmm. You just, it's never perfect. Trucking is hard, especially this time of year. Weather's bad. Freight's a little bit slower, but to be honest, from my point of view, and of course I don't know everything, but compared to last year, we got a buttload of freight compared to last year. You know what I mean? January has not been awful. And, sometimes it is. But this year it's been pretty decent.
For the guys that are on here, like Craig and Jonah was through this. We went through the struggling years. Jonah didn't leave by choice. He kind of left because he had to for personal reasons. But, going back to Craig, some of us that were here during the hardest times, 22 and 23, I still made money. Every single week. I left for stupid reasons. I didn't leave because of money. I left because of stupid ego reasons is why I left. And that's what I kind of said in the video. Sometimes you got to look in the mirror and figure out what the real problem is. So the wife says,
I'm not going to
watching.
say it was all you, but everybody gets mad. It's trucking. Nothing's perfect.
Watching this live, like and subscribe and share. We appreciate all the followers and pray for the safety on the roads from your loved ones. Absolutely. Thank you, baby. Michael Shepard, I have a complaint. My truck is covered with salt. Yeah, my truck is actually kind of an off-white color right now.
You know what, James? Go wash his truck for him. Go take care of Mike.
Mike's
Get a
another
scrub
good.
brush and help him out.
Freight Swami says, anything dedicated out of El Paso?
Not right now. Not right now. Actually, El Paso, the only thing ever out of El Paso that I know of off just the top of my head would be Los Lunas Walmart. That's the closest thing that we have. But we have some really...
Freight Swami, I thought you were happy where you were at with all the money you're making. Or are you asking for somebody else?
There's a lot of good leaders in El Paso, that for sure.
Is there really?
Sure is.
I got a guy right now that's out of El Paso, and his name is, I think that's Johnny Matthews, if I'm not mistaken. He's out of El Paso. He was asking me. TJ Bull of the Woods, swing wide, rabbit. It's a freaking trailer. Well, this was a 14-foot trailer, not a long trailer, 14-foot high. I mean, I would drive anything. I mean, and also with those 14-foot trailers, don't they have to have special permits to run those too?
I don't think out in the West. I mean, they have to be out of west of the Mississippi. So I don't know. I don't think so.
So Gigolo Joe says, just an FYI, my stuff went upstate to next month in the system. I did that. Found that out today. Stuff went upstate. Gigolo Joe is Joe Ware.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I got that cleared. I just I'll call you tomorrow. But I think that part's clear for us.
So Michael says, heck yeah, I like. Is that the truck wash or what's that?
Yeah, truck washing his truck for him.
You watch it,
free
Michelle.
labor.
Don't you get sassy with me here about that?
Yeah. You brought him on to Swift. You owe him a truck wash. Manual labor.
Speaking of which, anytime I see the guys out, I try to buy them, a meal or something. When Michael Sage and we went out, I bought his food for him when we went out. And anytime I catch these guys out, I try to, take care of them. So that's, again, I get it. So what? I spent $50 on a meal, but, I'm still giving.
Well, Mike Shepard wants you to show up with a bucket and a brush.
I don't know about that. So what I'll do for you, Michael, is I'll go to the local strip joint and I'll rent a girl for you and let her do it for you. Okay, that might make you happy. And Craig, you didn't hear what I just said either. Okay.
I didn't either.
Okay, so you're talking for a friend, according to Freight Swami. I know my wife's going to give me shit here in a minute too, but hey, I
hope she does.
But I don't know why she would give me shit because her filter's worse than mine. Honestly, asking for a friend. Okay, I got you, Freight Swami. If you want to, man, you can give me a call. We'll figure something out. But like she said, there's really nothing out of that area. Isn't El Paso big for flatbeds too, though?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
Laredo.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah, I like Michelle's idea. Okay.
See, told you.
Ricardo Calderon, is the Reefer division good for the Swift owner operators, and are those good loads? Yes
and no. I mean, you can run well out of the Reefer division, but you got to look at Swift as a whole. And Swift was always really a dry van company, and so we just have a lot more options on dry van than we do Reefer.
It's kind of like going to a steakhouse. This is what I tell my wife all the time. When we go to a steakhouse, you buy a steak. You don't buy fish or chicken when you go to a steakhouse. It's kind of the same concept. But if you live in certain areas, now I do have one driver, Brett Lucas.
Mhm.
He's not one of my drivers, but he's contacted me for help and stuff. Now he does the reefer division, but he lives in the Northwest, like Oregon, Washington, and
Mhm.
Nevada. And those, he said he stays busier than shit out there with the
Yeah,
reefer
I would
division.
say that if you're West Coast and maybe Chicago area, they tend to have a lot of reefer freight that way. But I mean, it's it's just the way it runs certain lanes.
So Craig says no permit west of Mississippi. All right. Tool bag. Why won't they lease to people in New York? I still can't find the answer. Well, she just explained that a few minutes ago.
Yeah, that's
It's
with the Pennsylvania thing. It's just labor laws. New York is one of the strictest you know what I'm talking
state.
about, state. Yeah, states outside of California.
Tool bag. Just like I told the other gentleman, you can call me tomorrow, or whatever, and there's ways around it, and I'll talk to
Well,
you about it.
not in New York. New York, you have to move.
Well,
New
that's
York,
what I
you
was going
actually,
to.
yeah, you have to move out of state.
Yeah. Jonas says he's getting his truck washed tomorrow. He's going to the state of Clemson truck wash to get it done. Trucker Baby G, any dedicated out of Florida? I'm sure not.
There's lots of stuff in Florida. Unfortunately, all the WalMarts, are really full right now. So we've had a really hard time trying to place anybody in anything dedicated in that area. Actually,
Lake
there
City,
could be
Florida.
some options.
What
Well,
about Target?
that and there's some other things too, some little mini fleets. So we'll talk about it.
All right. So you're in contact with her. You know how to talk to her.
I sure
Okay.
do.
Okay. And Trucker Baby G, like I said, feel free to give me a call. I'll help you with the technical side of the trucking part. Michael says, "Oh Lord, I'm going to get divorced over a truck wash." Well, the divorce is up to you, man. All I can do is provide the labor for you. How about that?
You're
Here's
awful.
here's the guy that always gives me shit, man. And I say it in a good way though. Some miracle. Every driver always making so much money at their company, but always asking about others' money at their company. Just stop lying. You know damn well you're asking for yourself. God drivers and are ignoring. Um, there is a lot of truth to that, and I get what you're saying. He's just being silly. I think Sam, aren't you? I can't remember if you told me, but I think you're a Swift driver, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we're always asking for a friend. So
Um, P93. I was just in your office on Monday, Michelle.
who's that?
Well, you need to tell me what your name is, P93.
I can't tell by the picture,
I can't either.
and I'm
So
blind
here's
and bad.
keep it classy, Rabbit. Sometimes you need to be reminded. Yeah, I hear you. It comes from my father. How many times I got to tell you? Some miracle. If you weren't asking for yourself, you would just send your friend to Rabbit. Shaking my head. If you weren't asking for yourself, you would just send your friend to Rabbit.
He's
Oh,
talking
I
about dedicated at El Paso.
Hey, Swami. Yeah, yeah. Just send them over, buddy. Uh, Dan says, my dad worked for a truck sales company out of Fort Lauderdale selling Costco trailers out of California. That's, I knew were for. Okay, I got you. And back to you, Sam Miracle. It's all good, man. And I know you're just kind of joking around. Freight Swami's a regular guy in here. I don't think he's trying to stir up anything or find anything out. He really probably does have a friend. He's a regular on the show, so he's not trolling or anything, just so you know. Because I think Sam Miracle's actually trying to take up for me. Tool Bag says, thank you, no problem. Craig says, with Reefer, you really got to know what lanes and areas to stay in. That is an absolute true thing. Stephen McLean. Okay, we just talked about you earlier. Hi, James and Michelle. Patiently waiting on the first job verification. And what about 2290 EIN and LLC? So EIN and LLC is up to you. I strongly suggest you get one. The 2290, it actually is $15 a week until is it 650 or 625?
550.
550. So you pay $15 a week until the 550 is paid, and then it's done.
Yeah. And the EIN and the LLC as well. And I don't know if it's me cutting out on the phone, but anyway, if you want to get it later, a majority of our drivers actually do use just their Social Security. However, if you want to get an LLC and an EIN, you can do it to start, or you can work on it and come to Swift and change it over. I always get a couple drivers a week that are signing up for the LLC that change their truck over into their business name after the fact. So you can do it at any time.
So, Michelle, we broke a record tonight. We hit 55 people watching. That's the biggest number I've had in a long time.
It's because I'm on here.
I know.
Everybody
That's
wants
exactly.
to talk to me.
So, Sam says Michelle caught what I was saying. Always supposedly asking for a friend.
It's just a joke. Yep.
In Green APU on Friday the 1st. Okay. Some Miracle Rabbit can be a wee bit slow. And yeah, the comments, and here's just like my voice. I lose my voice after today. Well, after driving all day long in the sun, well, I didn't drive today, but just this blue light on these laptops and your cell phones, they really bother my eyes after I read them for a little bit. So it's hard to read sometimes. Nicole, bear with me. G Money says, good evening. I appreciate what you do, Rabbit. I've been with Swift since 2021, currently looking to become an owner-operator. Does Swift currently have the 26 Freightliner model 5th gen? So he's talking about the new Freightliner. They just switched the body style.
Yeah. We have 26s, but they're still the old body style. Okay. However, trucks have been, I think they've started place the first order for this year. So 3-4 months, maybe. We'll see.
G Money, I see I think that's the Orlando Magic game ball thing there, the logo. But feel free to give me a call. We'll talk. Whenever you decide to make that jump, make sure you use Michelle, please. All Consuming Jaws. That's an interesting name. Okay. I'm a retired union plumber and union engineer starting the last phase of my career into trucking. Thank you for the information, my friends. I will be in contact. Keep up the great work. So if you don't mind, contact me first or Michelle and make sure you use my referral code, or contact me and I'll put you in contact with Michelle. Do not put an application in without contacting one of us first. James, what does the nickname come from? Is that your CB handle? No, Dan, and I'll put it in.
I said that's a long story.
It is a long story. I'll talk to you about it tonight. I put it in a couple of videos, and I just looked. I've got over 200 videos now, which is really crazy. But I'll tell you tonight. It's really, it's actually kind of a sweet story. It's from my daughter and my son, but we'll talk about it. Anything good out of Texas, says Vernon Galloway.
Everything's good out of Texas. Yeah, there's nothing really dedicated out of there. But there seems like there's always freight in Texas.
So got some good questions coming up here. Texas work life has given us, give thumbs up. I think that's either a high. I think that's a high, but go ahead and thumbs up the video, guys, and subscribe if you're not. Consuming Jaws says, smash that like. Thank you, buddy. Brad, the Swift hire felons?
It all depends. I mean, we put you through the security process. I don't, make that determination. But, certain things did, and time passes. Everybody makes mistakes. So it just depends. Sorry, I'm not so talkative tonight. I've been crushed the past 2 weeks, so I'm about out of it.
What you've been doing, because I haven't said a word about it.
Yeah, no, we'll wait. I'm on a project, though. I'm on a project.
She's on a big project. All Consuming Jaws will do. Hey, buddy, thanks, man. Yeah, just get in contact with me. You can actually contact me tomorrow if you'd like, and I'll tell you everything that I know. Dan says X's. Yeah. Tom says Nicholas is funny. That's Nick. Nicole is my wife. Yes, slowest rabbit in the world sometimes, but he's good people. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. You never answered the question. Are you working with Swift? I can't remember. I think you. Pretty sure you are. Three Rigs says, did you ever get your CB going, Rabbit? No, I never did. I've never taken the time to do it. Guys, you do not understand how busy I am with taking phone calls, helping other drivers out. I've taken on another thing that starts this weekend where I'm going to be training a student. So anybody that contacts me, be patient with me. I will get with you. This is a whole nother business.
Yeah, you got to remember, you better give that student some quality time too.
I did really well, and I've changed my. Like I said, I had to do a lot of thinking about the way I wanted to do it. I'm not doing it as a team like I did before, where I slept when he was vice versa. Not doing that. I just don't think it's fair to the student. I don't really have a lot of prerequisites other than no smoking, no females. Other than that, I'm pretty game on. Thank you. Praying all consuming jaws. We love our drivers. Absolutely. And some miracle. Yes, they hire felons. They hired in me. You see, that was the one time in band camp. Yeah, I thought you said you were working here.
Yeah, I just told somebody today, I said, we don't hire serial killers anymore. We just quit that last year. So.
Oh man, yeah, it's funny she said that. It kind of, my wife, she'll every time I go home, and it's just habit. My wife drives like a freaking maniac. I think she's Mario Andretti half the time the way she drives, and I tell her slow down, and I've always holding the dash and stepping on the brake and everything. And then when I get in the car, I'm driving under the speed limit and taking my time and stuff. She's like, you need to do this. You need to do that. You need to listen. I got my driver's license 2 weeks ago. I'm catching on quick. That's why I'm driving so slow. But
gosh.
She drives like a maniac, and I'm sure she's going to make a comment about that. Does Swift have a load board for lease purchase drivers to pick their own loads, and is it percentage? Man, you're a little behind the time, but go ahead.
Yeah, we do have a load board. We actually have two load boards right now. One of them is percentage and one of them's not. So we are, after the holidays, freight gets low, weather hits, so rates drop. So we're not, and not to mention that the load board is new. We just started it. What was it, October, right? I was thinking about that today. Yeah. So we just started it. So we put a pause on it. We want to make sure everything's working right, that everybody's getting paid properly, that payroll's getting the information they need. Our finance department's got the loads in there properly, everything that we need to do. So we put a pause on it. So rates are a little bit low right now. We're revamping, and we're getting ready to start it up again real soon. Now, with anything you do, you kind of got to shoot bullets before you shoot the cannonballs. So we're gonna start slow. We're gonna take baby steps. And we'll add 20 or 30, and then we'll make sure that's going right, and then we'll add 20 or 30 more. And so it's getting ready to start up again pretty soon.
So there's a rumor floating around. Now, actually, we're up to 61 people now, so that absolutely has broken the record. But there's a rumor floating around, and I don't know the answer, and I'm glad that we brought this up. Is there a percentage load board? Actually, not a percentage, but is there a load board for the reefer guys?
Yes, there is, but it's not a percentage load board. It is a mileage load board.
Okay, so I had that Brett Lucas guy. And again, I got contacts all throughout the whole company. For you guys, got any questions? I probably have somebody doing something, and Brett Lucas is one, and he told me that, and I had no idea we had a load board for the reefer division, and I've got several guys that have asked
quite a while.
Really, I had no idea. Now, I knew we did percentage up in the Northeast for a long time because I know Nick.
And we do.
Nick Barker is probably going to do that.
Right.
Because, what's her name? Ani, his driver leader, wants to do that. And I told him, I said, Nick, you need to if what she's telling you is true, and the guys are making that kind of money, you need to jump on top of that and at least give it a week or two, try it out, see what it's about. And I want him to do it because obviously
I think he's afraid he's going to get bored. Just staying up there all the time.
Well, maybe so, but I'd like to have the content. I'd like to have the information. That's why I tell guys to step out of their comfort zone a little bit.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a great thing. I used to before, and of course it's based out of Pennsylvania. Before Pennsylvania became one of those states, Northeast Regional was one of my biggest. I fed it like crazy. But now that you can't take owners out of Pennsylvania and New York and New Jersey and all that, it's slowed down substantially, but it's very profitable. I've put drivers there for years.
So there you go, guys. If you don't mind driving in the Northeast and you don't live in those Northeast states, say you live in South Carolina, North Carolina, there's no reason why Michelle can't put you at that terminal up there and run that freight. So there's another option for you guys that are struggling, that need to make money or want to make money. There's another option. Don't let it's at 55%, the percentage that they get paid. Don't let the 55% scare you away, because there's other ways to make money. They get drop and hook pays and all kinds of extra stuff that go with it, right?
Well, you have to, because it's the Northeast, the rates are pretty good. And because Swift is paying for your registration and your base plates and all your permits and tolls within itself could be, 10% of your revenue up there.
So guys, I mean, you guys that are sending me stuff, I'm giving you guys so many options to look at. Just because you're stale at, doing OTR and you don't, maybe your driver leader isn't, taking, whatever the situation is, and maybe it's you. There's options that you can make moves. Make moves. These accounts are taking people. They have a constant turnover. Just because it is what it is. Sometimes you got to take stuff that you're uncomfortable with. Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes you got to do stuff you're uncomfortable with. I don't think we do anything in the 7 boroughs, do we? I mean, very, very rare New York shit.
We do some, but we have in that Northeast group, we have the drivers that live in New York City and Brooklyn and the Bronx and Queens and whatever, and so they usually get to be the lucky ones to haul that freight. There's not a lot of it, but
I got you. But again, you're an owner operator. You can turn that stuff down too if you don't want to do it.
Absolutely. You don't have to. You don't have to run anything you don't want to. For a matter of fact, I would say 95% of the owner operators that I contract say, "Well, I'm not going to New York City." Well, I knew that already because nobody does.
Yeah,
unless you live there. Yeah, unless you live there.
I got to tell you the truth, and I've never said this before in my life, and sometimes I like it. I wouldn't do it in the wintertime, but summertime comes, and if Elmer says, "Hey, I got a load that's going to one of the 7 boroughs," I think I would try it out at least once, because I've never done it before.
Yeah.
Just heard the horror stories, but I never went into Jersey or New York. Well, I went to Jersey a couple weeks ago. I was in and out of Jersey. It was really no big deal. Nothing really to be concerned about.
Well, so. I mean, I used to manage a Reefer account, and they would go into Jamaica, New York, and they'd actually have to back the trailer into a dock and hang out halfway in the street while their trailer was being loaded. I mean, it could be scary because it's so tiny.
That shit don't bother me anymore. As a new driver, I can understand it, where it would be a little, frustrating, but those things don't bother me anymore. So McKinnon 30 says, "Hi, guys and gals, I'm here. We're glad to have you."
Hey, why I'm thinking about it, and I'm getting ready to go.
Yep.
Because I got to get some work done.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
You guys that are owner operators with us, especially our over the road people, get your carb inspections done on your truck. If you don't want to go into California, that's great. Swift will pay for that carb inspection. But it could be the difference between you getting a load that, if you don't go to California, you might take a load that T calls in Phoenix that actually goes into California. So it's in your best interest. Swift pays for it. Get your carb inspection.
Yeah, I meant to get that done when I got the camera put in, but it was Let me tell you, it was a challenge just to get the camera put in my truck. I went to 3 different terminals. They just didn't have the manpower to get it done. And finally, I just called Justin. I said, Justin, we got to get this camera installed. I've been trying to get this done since before Christmas, and I'm just having all kinds of. He made a phone call and says, "Be here at the terminal on Thursday." I said, "Perfect. I'm gonna be at the terminal anyways, doing a 34." Got it in Friday morning at 5:30 in the morning. They put it in. An hour later, it was done. But guys, sometimes these things can be challenges, but sometimes you gotta adjust to the challenge the best you can. Just like everywhere else, Swift is having difficulty keeping people in the shops because of whatever reasons. It is what it is, and it's anywhere we go. I mean, there's Loves that they have issues keeping mechanics.
Yeah, mechanics are hard. Period. There's just not enough of them. Period.
All right, I got a few comments. Let me make sure there's no questions here. I'll follow up with you tomorrow. I can connect with Michelle. I'm the one who will be available to lead. I remember talking to you. I can't remember what your first name is, but do me a favor. Shoot me your first name. Psalm Miracle. Yes, brother. I'm with Swift. Start on the 5th with Michelle. Can you get me a KW? So,
of course.
What's your first name, Psalm Miracle? So he's already talked to you. He's working with you, I guess. Let me know who you are. There's Dan. He's laughing. Wife. James, I have a safe driver award with. Yeah. Let me tell you, Collier County Sheriff, where she worked at, she got a safe driver award. 2 months before she got that safe driver award, she rear-ended another driver. But she still got the safe driver award. But, honestly, it really, even though it wasn't her fault, it was one of those situations where there were multiple cars involved, unfortunately.
Yeah.
2024 Kenworth, not really help getting one, but the terminal, I can get one, I should say.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can figure that out.
Good evening, guys. Virgil Smith. Now, here's my boy that gave me the name of the show. Did you know what our Saturday show's called? Flying the Fellows?
Flying the Fellows.
Yeah, he came up with that name, and we stuck with it. I see on Facebook they advertise Kenworths for Phoenix, but when I speak to them, they say they don't have any. He wants a Kenworth. Call Michelle. She'll get it done for you.
I was going to say, on the company side, they don't do a lot of Kenworths. Everything's a majority Freightliner. But
Michael says, if the load board paused, the reason for the low number of loads showing up?
No.
Actually,
Mike, I looked at the load board today, and it looked pretty good.
Yeah, Michael, at certain times you got to look at it. What I notice is mornings and mid-afternoons, 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when you're going to find your most stuff. It seems like they load it up twice a day. And definitely don't look at it on the weekends. Weekends, they don't do crap with it, at least right now. And again, if you didn't catch it.
Everybody's closed. You know what I mean? Most of our customers, just like anybody else, they work Monday through Friday. So weekends are bad everywhere.
And if you guys didn't hear earlier in the beginning, hopefully in the next little bit, next couple of weeks, the load board's going to get ramped up, both of them, what she said. Trucking when Nisha just started. We'll be picking up my first load tonight. Congratulations. Nisha, don't hesitate to give me a ring if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to help out. Juan Pearson, hey, how is everyone tonight? Great. I'm just running through these to make sure there's no questions for you jump off.
Okay.
Hit that like, subscribe. I'm coming back to all your comments, guys. When do we get our new IFTAs? IFTA stickers?
You better pick it up. They're already at the terminals. You better get rid of it.
Yeah, just go to the terminal and tell them you need new IFTA stickers.
They're out.
Will I run being a lease operator running teams with my wife? Will I run well being okay? Will he run well with his wife is what he's saying.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have an expedited thing for teams. It's wonderful.
So if you're sitting at a truck stop and you got another guy at a truck stop and you're a team, guess what? You're going to get that load before the other guy does. You're always going to get priority. Remember that.
And our expedited division runs a lot of coast-to-coast type stuff, too.
Martin Moore is all consuming Jaws. I guess you've been talking to him. Martin Moore. David Cornwell. I've been with Swift for 9 months as a company driver in the NER division, Northeast Regional. I'm looking to take the step and make the switch to go lease op. I've applied, been accepted, but I've got so many questions. David, you can call me or call Michelle. Honestly, Michelle's probably going to be your better option, but you can call me. I'm actually driving all night tonight. Feel free to give me a call after the show. Give me about 30 minutes to get things set up, and I'll try to answer any questions I can. And Michelle's going to have all your answers too. But either way.
Yeah, and I can hook you up with Ani, who manages that.
Okay. So some miracles. No, I'm working with Michelle. I'm asking for her help.
Yeah, he's not working with me. He's asking for my help to help him get a Kenworth on the company side.
His first name is Everett.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm an owner-operator, Michelle. Okay.
Well, what are you driving?
Yeah, what are you driving right now? And how long is your?
We couldn't get you a KW.
What's the best state to move to for a lease? Any state that's red, not blue. Texas, Florida, Tennessee, those are all good non-taxable states. Next, probably South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia. Anything in the Southeast is really where you want to be at, in my opinion. And
heck, anything in the middle, anything off both coasts, minus Illinois. There you go.
Yeah. So G Money says, hey, Michelle, so if I really want the new model Freightliner, but also looking to be an owner-operator next month, how would that work exactly? So he's the one that's a company driver right now.
Okay, so we could figure out a short-term lease for you so you could order your truck. Call me.
Yeah, G Money, just like she said, call her. But again, like I told the last person, you can call me tonight. I'm driving all night. I'll give you the clue on how to do that because that's exactly what I'm doing. And Toolbest says, copy that. Thanks. Michelle, you can take off if you want to. I've answered all the comments and appreciate you coming in. He's coming in as an owner-operator, and I'm getting to run around low-key trying to get – Sam, call me tomorrow. We'll talk.
I was going to say, and call me too. I'll help you. Even if you're not working with me, I'll help you.
Okay.
I'll help you. Okay.
Well, Michelle, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Anytime. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks. We do it another 2 weeks or so, but I appreciate you cutting me some slack. This project they got me on is kicking my butt. So
it's all good. Expect to see me in the next couple of weeks anyways to come by and get those pamphlets because I got to get stuff prepared. I'll probably make my way through. I'm going to get the student. I'm going to be out with him for 2 weeks. So whenever I get a chance to come by, I'll come by. I'll let you know.
Okay. I got it ready for you.
Have a good evening, and thank you again, and we'll talk again soon.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Michelle. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
All right, guys, if you guys want to keep going live, we can keep rolling. If you guys want to bullshit and talk a little bit longer, if not, then we will cut it back. Hey, no problems. So, Sam, like I said, feel free to give me a call, buddy. I'll try to help you out. I'm a little confused on your situation, though, but we'll figure it out. 43 people still in here. Wow. Pretty good live tonight, guys. I appreciate it. Once again, like and subscribe. Feel free to comment if you want to. It helps the channel grow, but if you got questions, please, by all means, call me. It's the easiest way. Speaking of which, for you guys that are on here, I'm going to change the ticker. There's my phone number. Feel free to contact me. If you don't have my number, there she is. You can call me. For you guys that are familiar with, I forget what this northern Atlanta. It's North of Atlanta Loves. They have a Burger King here, and it's right off of 75. I can't remember what city it's in. I think it's Dalton, Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. There's a Buc-ee's right across the street. This has to be the busiest Loves of any Loves I think I've ever been through. But I got lucky and got a spot this morning when I parked. All right, guys, I'm going to give about another 5 minutes. If nobody really has anything to talk about, we're going to shut her down and I'm going to get rolling. So Trucking with Nisha says, I will be calling. I have questions. Again, Nisha, call me tonight. Give me about 30 minutes after I cut off here. Give me a call. I'll be happy to answer questions. I got to call Dan and talk to him too. So any of you guys that need any answers, your questions answered, I'll be more than happy to help. Just like I said, I've never made any more money than I ever have here at Swift. And that's just the driving portion. Trucking with Nisha says, okay, all right, I'll be glad to talk to you. Michael Shepard says, I was at the QT in Adairsville, Georgia last night. Okay. I'm going to be hitting the QT here in a little bit myself and putting some fuel in this truck so I can get through tonight. Anybody got any questions? We're going to cut her down here in just a few minutes. Don't forget, got a live tomorrow night with Steven for your health insurance. Saturday, we're going to do our usual show. And if the wife is still on here, if you didn't notice, I got my blue Fly Rabbit polo on. She hates it when I wear my red T-shirts. They need to be replaced. I did that for you, baby. Dan says, thank you. No problem, Dan. I hope you got good news for me. I'm pretty sure you do, but I hope you got good news for me. Awesome live tonight. Thanks for everybody showing up. All right, my friends, I guess we're going to go ahead and cut it. Like I said, feel free to join us tomorrow and then again on Saturday. We're going to have a good show, as always. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for asking all the good, important questions. Everything's been good. Nisha says, how do you figure out the fuel surcharge while driving cents per mile? Yeah, call me. We'll talk about that. I'm going to go over everything with you. It'll make more sense when I talk to you. I did the same thing with Dan last night. All Cummings Jaw. Have a good night, my friends. Yeah, don't forget to give me a call, buddy. I'll be more than happy to help out. All right, guys. Y'all have a good evening. Be safe and stay out of this nasty weather that's coming if you're able to, guys. It's going to be nasty pretty much the whole Midwest and the Southeast. You had mad folks on tonight. Yeah, I had a lot of folks on, that's for sure. Okay. All right, guys. Till next time, man. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you again. Good night.